Hello, everyone. Today I am here to share really an important message with you that stops a lot of tutors from being able to get heard and be seen. My name's Joanne Kaminski. I'm an online reading tutor, and I've been helping tutors start their own online tutoring businesses since 2012 and being able to help them get results faster than I did when I got started. And if you like hearing content about the online tutoring world, please hit that subscribe and that like button. That helps me to get seen by more people and be able to share this message. Now, I had somebody who reached out to me. She specifically asked me, Joanne, what do you do when you have people that leave like bad comments on your videos or your blog posts or your podcasts? She's like, I'm really, struggling with this, and I want to know, like, what do you do? And I thought this is such a great question that so many people struggle with. In fact, I don't know if you guys happen to see this, but on America's Got Talent, Madeline Bailey, who has over 8 million subscribers, so she's pretty big, right? She got onto AGT and she sang a song to her YouTube haters, and it was all of the lyrics of the YouTube that she has received on YouTube, and she turned it into a song. It's kind of creative, I mean, if you think about it. And it was really interesting just to see, how Simon Cowell would react to that, right? Simon's kind of like, you got a great voice. I'm not sure you want to focus on your haters. You're all going to have haters. And, but I thought it was really creative. And if you take a look though, at the actual comments that this girl has on her channel, I'm going to show it to you guys. So I think this is a really important thing to see. So if I come on over here, here's Madeline's channel, and here's a song that she wrote. One person said that her music was like ear murder. Nice, right? But let's say, okay, here's when you take a look at her comments. I want you guys to notice how many positive comments she has. Hi, Madeline, this is amazing. Like you. This is the best way to beat the haters. Her voice is freaking good. I don't know why people hate her. Overrated? Nah, she's more like underrated. She's amazing and deserves more love. And I love this one. Haters. Having anger towards everyone reaching success. Not my words, but share them. I love that. So you can see, like, all of the comments that she's mostly getting, there's 454,000 comments on here, of those comments, most of these are positive comments. And I really want you guys to think about that and kind of let that like hold on in for a second, because at the end of the day, it's not about the people that are saying the negative things. It's about the people that you're creating the content for. When you think about creating content, whether you're creating a podcast or you're creating a YouTube channel or a blog, you have to think of who is it that you are intending to serve. Usually, the people that are leaving those hate comments are not part of the people that you're trying to serve. They might be somebody who randomly came across your content and it doesn't apply to them. They're not your ideal client. And so they will say things. We call these people trolls. Trolls are people, if you can imagine what a troll looks like. Do you remember the three Billy Goats Gruff and the trolls and all of that? They're trying to come on through, right? But they got to go through the trolls. They're like these little green, nasty looking men, right? Trolls are people that they're nasty. They don't know how to say things in a nice way. They will come off as being very critical. Sometimes when you take a look at their messages, they don't even make sense. Okay? Those aren't the people that you're creating the content for, right? Why allow those people that are leaving those kinds of comments to control who gets to see you in the future? Who's your ideal client? I want you to remember that most of the people that are going to leave comments, they either won't leave any comments at all, or they'll be positive. So an activity that I always have people do is I have them write down their comments that they're getting. Write down all of the positive, wherever they're coming from. Write down all the positive and all of the negative. Where are all the positive comments coming from? Maybe you have emails that people are sending you. Maybe it's a YouTube channel in the comment section. I want you, anything that is a positive comment, I want you to write that down. And in the negative column, I want you to write down the negative comments that you see. Okay? And think about, is the negative comment, is it criticism or is it a valid critique? Because there's a difference, right? A valid critique just means that, hey, you could make this better by. And sometimes it comes off as being negative. But sometimes there's truth to it, right? So I always kind of like lay it out as like, okay, if 2 or 3 people are telling me the same thing, then there's probably something that I can do to make it better. But to just listen to like somebody who's being negative and saying that, hey, my music is ear murder, or, I had one person who said, why do you have to wear those wonkin' headsets? You look ridiculous in them. I just kind of laugh like, that's what you're focusing on? So nothing that I said meant anything to you. You just focused on the headsets. So here's the thing. You're going to get negative comments. Okay, but you want to focus on the positive ones and the ones where you can actually learn from. And sometimes it's hard to differentiate those negative troll-like comments and the critiques that are valid, that feel negative to us. I want you to put yourself in a box, okay? Here is you, and then outside of the box is your content, your podcast, or whatever it is that you're creating, your website, whatever it is, that's over here. This is not you. When people are saying something about this, they're not commenting about you. Okay? It's separate. It's outside of you. They didn't like something that you said. That's okay. It doesn't mean they don't like you. They didn't like that you had some spelling errors. That's okay. That's not you. It was a mistake. You missed it. No big deal. Go fix it. Half the time you can go back and refix anything that you do. If you had a blog post, you had an error, you can go back and fix that and then publish it again. No big deal, right? Like, okay, and then you realize, oh, I need to read over my stuff more before I hit publish, because this is like a final draft, not a first draft. And I think that's really, really important. I'd love to know from you guys, have you ever received negative feedback from somebody? Where did you receive it from? And how did it make you feel? Did you ever receive negative feedback before? Here's what I read. I don't remember where I read this, you guys, but I remember reading it. It said, when you're receiving negative feedback, it's because people are seeing you. And I love that, because the biggest problem that we have as tutors isn't that we're not great at tutoring. It's that people don't know we exist. It's inevitable you're going to receive negative comments. We all do. It's how do you respond to those negative comments? But I also want you to think about, how do you respond to the positive comments? You know, are you being grateful for the positive comments that you're having? Are you actually responding to people when they leave a positive comment, or are you ignoring them? Because we have to respond to the positive comments, right? Thank you so much. That's exactly why I do what I do. So if you guys have a comment, please feel free. Leave your comment down in this video. I'd love to know, what are your thoughts, right? We're asking people to comment. We're asking them to take action. We're asking them to do things. You might not always like what they say, but you have to separate that from you. What they say isn't a definition of who you are. You are who you are. Yeah, they could say, have you ever considered earpods instead of the headset? Which would be more like constructive criticism. Exactly. Which would be a difference, right? There's a difference between how somebody presents that. So if somebody says like, oh my gosh, like that, you're wearing these big honkin' headsets. All right, cool. You don't like the headsets. That's fine. I like the headsets because when I'm working with my students, and usually I'm going back to back to back between this YouTube channel and working with my students, it's easier for me to not have to rechange my headset. But I like these headsets. These are Bose headsets. And what's really nice about them is they go all the way around my ear. So as I'm wearing a headset for, 11, 12 hours in a day, it doesn't give me a headache and it doesn't irritate my ears. But then because they're Bose, I can hear my students very clearly. And as a reading student, I need to be able to hear them very clearly. And I don't have that same experience when I have the AirPods in. And I've got AirPods. I use them for other things. I use them for when I'm on Clubhouse. I just have a better experience on Clubhouse. So yeah, it's crazy what people will say. Ah, thanks, Beth. That said, my thoughts are that Joanne Kaminski is the best. Full stop. Full stop is a period in the UK. So I work with one of my students, and I can't say period when I'm working with him. I have to say full stop, and I still make the mistake and call it a period. But yeah, like great suggestions, you guys. And that's the difference between the troll, I think, and the person who really is trying to offer some constructive feedback. If somebody is giving you feedback and there's some kind of a negative, like name calling, is in there sometimes. If there's name calling in there, it is definitely a troll, right? Like regular people don't call you names. And they may have some constructive feedback hidden inside of there. But you don't want to mix that up with the name that they're calling you and all of that, right? Separate it out. Is there any gold inside of the comment they're offering? If not, ignore it. What will happen is as you get more and more people following you, those people that follow you and love you will actually respond to those trolls, and you don't have to say anything. Or you could just say, thank you for your feedback. That's it. Done. Right? And move on. I know it's really hard to do that. That's the hard part, right? The move on. And that's why I say, now take a look at all the positive comments that you have gotten over and over again. All right? Because you are not serving those people who are writing those comments that are negative. You're there to serve those people that are writing the positive comments. What do you guys think would happen to tutors in the tutoring industry if I decided, you know what, this one comment is the last straw, I'm done. Shut off the YouTube channel, shut off the Ultimate Support Group for Online Tutors, shut off Jumpstart. What do you think would happen if I decided to do that? If I decided to listen to them and get inside of my own head, what would happen? I wouldn't be able to serve those tutors that I was meant to serve. Those tutors that are able to get 20 students in 8 weeks, they wouldn't be able to get that result. And that's who I show up for. I show up for those tutors that they take the information I give and they run with it and they go with it and they do it. And so I can't serve them if I don't keep showing up. So don't allow what people could say, would say, are saying stop you from getting on out there. Now we're going to kind of hit another tough topic, which is on the same subject, and that is, what about when it's family members that are saying the negative things? What if a spouse isn't supporting your tutoring business? What if your own family members are saying things that are hurtful to you because you're putting content out there? Again, they're not your ideal clients. And, I want you guys to remember that haters, the people that love us can also hate us. And that's a hard thing to take. We think, people who love us only love us. Oh, heck no. Yes, I love my husband. There are days I don't like him very much, right? That's okay. That's just how relationships go. But people who love us can sometimes say the most hateful things. And we have to put that aside and say, okay, they're probably angry about something else or something's probably bothering them, and put it aside. Again, it's not about you. All right. And remember that acronym for haters? Having anger towards everyone reaching success. If you are trying to go above and beyond to get success, and you're going out there and doing things that are putting you into situations where you can get more and more success, you're going to have some of those close people not supporting you. I just had my own mom, and she didn't intend it to be negative, but I told her how much I charge an hour. She said, "Are you still charging $80 an hour for your tutoring services?" I said, "No, I'm now charging $100. She looked at me and she goes, "And people pay that?" It was the tone versus the question. If she had said, "Oh, and people are paying that for your tutoring services, that's awesome," it would have had a different effect, right? But and people pay that makes it seem like you're not worth it, right? You're not worth that much money. Or, that's how we can internalize those kinds of comments. But again, what we need to say is they don't understand. They're not where we're at. They're not doing what we do. It was funny because as soon as she said that, she goes, "Well, you must be because you're working a lot of hours." So she did finish it off with something else, right? But we could take those kinds of comments, and here's what we do. We run them over and over and over again in our own mind. And I'm going to teach you a trick. As soon as you hear the thought go through your own brain, come up with a word. My word is stop. You are not going there. Can I tell you how much freedom that gives me? It gives me control over my thoughts, because somebody may have said something once, but I will replay it over and over and over in my head. So who's responsible for the negative thought? Is it the person who made the comment once, or is it me who's replayed it in my head 1,000 times? It's me. But if I can say, "Stop, you are not going there," that thought stops you from helping the people you were meant to serve. Stop. And I have to tell you, it is freedom. Freedom from the negativity. freedom from the haters, and freedom to work with the people that I was meant to work with. I agree, Magnolia. She said that trolls are bullies. They are. They're bullies. They think they can control you through their words. But if you use the strategy of catching yourself when you say those things, amazing things are going to happen for you. You're going to feel more confident. You are going to get more clear on who you are meant to serve. And you are going to create killer content. Is your content going to be awesome the first day you put something out? Probably not. So the good thing is, like, you can listen to some of the negative comments in the beginning and just remember, hey, you're getting better. You're getting better. Each day, just say to yourself, I am improving each day that I, write a blog, create a video, do a podcast. I am getting better and better with each time that we don't start off perfect at everything. I certainly did start off doing, videos perfectly. I still don't do perfect videos. I'm still learning on a day-to-day basis on how to improve the things that I do. And then things change, right? The rules change, and we've got to kind of roll with the punches as that goes as well. Things change, and then you got to try new things. So we're constantly putting ourselves in vulnerable situations where other people can see us fail or not do the best job that we could do if we had more experience. So if experience is the only thing that's stopping us from getting better, keep doing it. Keep getting the experience. Keep reading how to do it better. Watch other podcasts. Listen to read other blog posts. Begin taking a look at what do you like about what they do, what they don't do. And that will help you tons. So I am so glad that you guys joined us. This Wednesday, we are having a really special webinar with Suzanne Davis, and she's going to be telling us how to become an expert blogger, even if writing isn't your thing. And this is going to help you to see how can I get better, right? That's one of the things that we can do if we're not good at something is take a course or pop onto a free webinar or read a book or, there's lots of things that we can do to get better in the areas that we want to get better at. And it's always about just being the best version of us that we can possibly be. And if you're doing that on a daily basis, you have nothing to worry about. Those trolls, those haters, be gone, right? You've got this. I believe in you. And I know you are out there to do great things for the people that you are meant to serve. And I hope that you guys enjoy the rest